everybody, how's it going? Welcome to today's installment of Mike's Vehicle Vlogs, and I want to thank you for joining me today. I did not charge the camera. I thought the camera was charged. It is not. It is very low on battery. Luckily, today will hopefully be a short vlog because we are going to do a slight experiment today. And this, of course, involves, I guess the category would be aftermarket accessories. In this case, decorative things that you would want to put on or in your vehicle. Now, I know a lot of you guys may know, if you've been watching this channel long enough, that I am not a fan of really any aftermarket accessory that goes onto a car, whether it be something just for decoration, which, you know, I can maybe tolerate a little more, but stuff that has to be wired in, like, you know, weird lights or just anything that, you know, because the whole point is anything can really mess up the way a vehicle is supposed to perform. Anything can really take a vehicle's natural performance or functionality, and the smallest of things can simply ruin a car, or at least temporarily, you know, mess something up. So you know, many people like to throw decorative things into their cars, and that's fine. I mean, you do what you want to do, but, you know, it's amazing to think that how one little tiny thing can really make somebody's day a nightmare if they don't realize what they've done. So today we have the bling ring. Now, I have seen many vehicles in the shop, you know, that have these in various places on their car. Inside, of course, usually. As you can see, it is literally like a bejeweled ring, and you put it over knobs, switches, anything round basically that it'll go over. And one thing that people love to stick it on, if they really like to go all out, they'll stick it on the actual ignition of the vehicle. As shown here in the packaging, it's showing a start-stop button right there. You know, so people put it around their start-stop button or even their keyed ignition ring, which is what we're going to be doing with the Honda today. So I bought this just now. It was what was it? $4.29. That's with tax included. So $3.99 I think was the sticker price. And yeah, that's it. It's just a ring with an adhesive back. It's got some bejewels on it. It's supposed to make your ignition or your knobs or whatever you're sticking it on look pretty. But on the back of this, it does have a warning in red, actually. And it reads, "Not recommended for key start ignitions. Ring could potentially interfere with signal from key to the ignition system on older model cars, resulting in auto not starting." I'm not exactly sure why it says older cars, because you would think maybe older cars would be maybe a little more forgiving, like if it's like a 94 something or other and you could put this around, but I don't know. So just think, you buy this for $4 and you put it around your ignition, and then next thing you know, your car is not starting. We're going to do that today with the Honda. We're going to see if this is going to interfere with the ignition of the Honda. And I don't know. We're going to give it a shot. I bought these specifically for this reason, so let's try this experiment and see what happens. So my 2017 Honda Civic LX has a keyed ignition, and for those of you who may not understand how these anti-theft or immobilizer systems work, basically you have a key like this. At least on this particular car, it's a remote with blade like this. Most new cars that have a keyed blade like this will have some sort of code programmed into the key, usually somewhere in maybe the remote vicinity or such. But the way that this works is when the key goes into the ignition, behind the column here, the plastic, somewhere on the ignition cylinder, there is another ring. Usually it's a ring, and that ring is what is used to receive the signal from this key that tells this ignition, hey, this is the correct key for this vehicle. Let's go ahead and activate all of our engine functions and start the car. And all is right with the world. Car starts, and that's it. You're on your merry way. That is basically the point of the immobilizer. So the thing with these rings, apparently, is if you stick the ring, you know, on this, it's going to block the receiving of that code from the key. And then you're going to have a no start because the car thinks it's being stolen. So picture that. If you have the blade, if you just have a blade that is cut to this, and you go to turn the key over, yeah, the ignition's going to turn, everything will probably light up, but without receiving any code from this key, without receiving any code, it's not going to turn the car over. And you're going to see, it doesn't light up right now, but there's a light that's going to stay on the dash, and it's basically the anti-theft light. And that's how you know that your car is being tampered with, when you have the light that's basically telling you that there's either a fault with the system or it has received an improper or no signal from the key. So as you saw, we just stuck this in there. We turn it over. The car is running. I know it's a pretty quiet car, so I don't know how well you can hear it running, but it's running. All is good. So now I'm going to open this ring, and we're going to stick one on the ignition there, and now we're going to see what happens with this particular ring on this car. Alright, so here's our ring out of the package. Now it's got the paper for the, you know, the adhesive on the back. Let's try and peel this off here. It does feel like it's some pretty strong adhesive, really. Yep. Oh wow, that's really sticky. And the problem is, you can kind of see it's literally a metal ring. So you have this piece of metal here with these jewels on it. That would be enough to block the signal of the, you know, the key being able to get through. Now I'm going to try to center this up as best as we can. Oh, it looks so pretty. Never thought I'd see the day where I had one of these. Alright, so now we have our ring on there, and let's see if if this ring's going to interfere with receiving the signal from the key. So let's go ahead and turn this over, and look, the anti-theft light's already flashing. The anti-theft light is already flashing. If we go to start this car, oh, look at that. Now look at that. Now see, this is a $4 purchase that, if you don't realize what you have done, this is a $4 thing that is going to probably make you want to tow your car to a shop. So you're already spending money on towing. You know, this could lead to like a lot of money being spent on an issue that you inadvertently didn't realize you have created, unfortunately. But yeah, so I mean, with this thing here, try it again. She started, she stalled. See? That is how that works, man. No running. No running. So now let's go ahead. Let's peel this ring off here. oh man, once it's on there, it doesn't want to come off. All right, and let's put our key back in. There she goes. She is happy as can be. Ain't that something? So yeah, that is basically how the immobilizer system works, and this is how one of these things can really ruin your day, your week. If you get it towed to a shop and they don't even realize that that ring is there, or they maybe don't even realize that that can be the issue, you're going to be spending tons of money in diagnostic fees, and maybe they're going to throw parts at it depending, like I said, the towing alone. But yeah, something as little as a $4 cheap accessory, just for looks, not even for anything to, you know, this does no function whatsoever. It's just for decoration. Like people will put them around these, you know. You can't really put it on there because the button's there, but you know, you kind of get it. But that is one place, if you're gonna put these in your vehicle, I don't care if you have a push button or not. If you have the push button, in some instances, it may block the signal from reaching the actual button too. So I don't even know why that's there on this packaging. But if you're gonna put these in your car, put them anywhere else, but never put them around any of your ignition, whether it be keyed or button. Do not. I mean, it's just a headache waiting to happen. We just proved it. There she goes. So out of curiosity, we're in the 15 Ford Fiesta now. It's got the same kind of ignition setup. Obviously, it's got an anti-theft system also, with a key that's turn this off for now. With a key that's got, you know, obviously a code that needs to be received from the ignition. I need to make sure this is turned down, because sometimes when my wife leaves the car on, she leaves this up like really loud. So yeah. Well, oh, of course it's got no gas. We'll go ahead and start it up here. Give it a moment. And yeah, so as you can see, it's running. So let's see if this will do the same thing in this car. So we got this ring on there. And I don't see the lights. This ignition is kind of shaped differently, so it may accept it. In this case, it did. So yeah, so in this instance, it seems to be okay. Surprisingly. But nonetheless, I honestly wouldn't want to take the chance if I didn't know what I was doing. I would not put anything like this around my ignition. So just saying, we're gonna get that out of there. Either way, just because it worked on this particular instance, I still would not recommend using this. You know, you never know. It's hit or miss, apparently. Alright, that's pretty much all I got for today's vlog, guys. I really don't have anything else going on at the moment. It is extremely hot out here today. So yeah, like I said, we know for sure the Honda Civic will not accept that ring. The Fiesta did accept the ring. But again, I would not trust anything like this to be anywhere around the ignition. Whether it's keyed, whether it's push button, whether it is a Fiesta that, you know, took it okay. But this car, obviously not. If you're going to put these in your car, put them elsewhere. keep everything, keep anything away from the ignition. You just don't know what the outcome can possibly be with anything like this. So that's it, guys. Hope you did enjoy this little experiment. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe. I will see you guys next time. I want to thank you so much for joining me today, and take care.